Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to episode 175 of the 4,000 Question Challenge. Here we go. Do you prefer odd or even numbers? This is going to sound strange, seeing as that my YouTube name attached to this channel is Tetsubo 57, because 57 is in fact my favorite number in the world, but I prefer even numbers. I know that's a bit of a dichotomy. I understand that, but I prefer even numbers. Even though 57 is my favorite number, and it's attached to a channel which has thousands of subscribers and thousands of videos. Yes, I realize that is a bit odd. We are multitudes. Do you prefer typing or writing in longhand? I will hunt and peck on my keyboard to the ends of time, and I would never want to write again. I hate writing with a pen or pencil. I just despise it. I keep notes that way because I have a permanent record I can keep around, and I have to do it at work, and I just don't want to have horrible penmanship, and I don't like to write with longhand. I just don't. I prefer to type, even though I'm typing with two fingers on the keyboard. If I have to look at the keyboard, I cannot touch type. And I'm endlessly frustrated when I hit the wrong things and something happens on the keyboard, and I've told the computer to do a command that I don't know what the hell it does. And I look at the screen, I'm like, what the hell's on the screen? Because again, I am not a digital native. But yeah, I much prefer, not to mention like my spelling looks so much better because I have spell checkers built into my typing that I don't have built into my handwriting. Have you ever participated in a 12-step program? No, I have never done so. I've been on the receiving end, like someone come to me and said, as part of their 12-step program, but no, and I have never been part. Do you steal sheets or covers or have them stolen from you? Huh. Maybe. Hmm. I don't think so. Maybe a 55% chance of me stealing covers. Slightly better. Are you feeding the cats, dear? Sorry about that. Just checking to see if the cats are being fed. It is 4:42 a.m. at the moment. What is the trustworthiness of consumer marketing reports? Well, it depends on who's making the consumer marketing reports. Like, there is the consumer marketing like publication out there that does consumer guide that does reviews. It's supposed to be pretty reliable. But there is also lots of bribery going on behind the scenes. I read a lot of individual personal reviews of technology or items before I purchase them, but I also have to take those with a grain of salt because there's a lot of that can be gamed by unscrupulous producers of technology from bot accounts and things like that. So it's hard to tell. Um, it really is. You have to find a reliable source of information, one that you trust, and then you say, okay, what does this person or this organization say about this thing? And then you need to try it yourself, because even if you get reliable information from them about that, it's not necessarily going to be the truth when you get the item in hand, because your experience is going to be unique to that. What do you complain about the most? I should ask my wife that question, but it's 4:44 in the morning, and she'd probably be very testy if I asked her that question. What do I complain about the most? I'm going to go with Republicans, social conservatives in particular. Social conservatism is a disease, and we need to stamp it out. So that's probably what I complain about the most. What do you think of that? People have such a hard time quitting a bit. Why do you think people have such a hard time quitting a habit? Well, we literally burn synaptic paths in our brain. And the more we use them, the stronger they get. So to change that is not easy. not insurmountable, but it's not easy. Now you add in, say, for example, chemical processes that support that, like dopamine receptors and things like that. You've wired your brain to like think, this is good, this is good, this is good. Yeah, it's not simple at all. Even if you recognize how horrible a habit you have is, it's still not simple. Do you lose things or know where everything is? I have a combination of that. There seems to be a set of items that I can locate at any time because I know exactly where they are. Like close my eyes and find them with my eyes closed kind of thing. But below a certain usage level, I really do lose track of stuff. Like if I don't use something X amount of time, it falls below X minus one, I lose stuff and I do not know where it is. And sometimes I have a really hard time finding things because I think I know where it is. And if I think I know where it is stronger than where it actually is, I may never find the freaking thing because I've convinced myself it's an X and it's not an X, it's someplace else. Do you follow the news as closely on the weekends as you do during the week? Yes. What is your average night's sleep on a weeknight? I don't really sleep in the weeknights, and my sleep schedule is weird because I work at night, but in the daytime I get about 7 hours of sleep a day. I sleep from around 10:30 a.m. to 3:40 p.m. and then from about 6:30 p.m. to about 9:40 p.m. roughly, taking into account that sometimes it takes me more or less time to fall asleep. But yeah, that's my average sleep schedule um, on a weekday. My weekend schedules is wonky. And on my vacation, which is currently what I am on at the moment of this filming, I go to bed around between 9 and 10, and then I get up usually between 4 and 5 a.m., which is why I am up at 4:47 a.m. Yes. So thank you for being here for episode 175 of the 4,000 Question Challenge, and I apologize for any bits of my life that have intruded upon this episode because cats and spouses and life, things like that. Not that I don't love my cats and my spouse. I only have one. I have 3 cats now. So thank you. I keep forgetting this is supposed to be self-help. I just noticed in the back, self-help. I don't know how helpful it is, quite honest. It's interesting, though. This has been episode 175. Thank you for being here. I hope that you will be here for episode 176.